It's been over a year since I bought this amazing Lexus IS250. Now, I know plenty of you are gonna disagree, but I see this car as a baby Lexus LFA because it has the same color, the white pearl color like the LFA, and they also come from the same generation. So yeah, this is my baby LFA. And because I am a car enthusiast, I bought the Lexus with the sport package. So this car should represent the perfect blend of sportiness and comfort. So in a span of 1 year, I did a long travel to Greece and Montenegro, and I also took this car on a track to see the performance and to test its limits. Did they succeeded in making a car that's sporty and has the luxury and comfort features as well? It has a hard task to beat, so it's gonna be interesting. So let's first start with the experience going towards the car and entering. There's no doubt that this car looks special when you're approaching it, especially in this white pearl color. This car came with a sport package. The differences are these nicer wheels that are also like wider. It also has a bit stiffer and sportier suspension. The special details that I appreciate are like these chrome accents, and I like the shape of this mirror. It kind of reminds me like a luxury yacht, and the chrome all around the windows. And there's no doubt that this is a quality product car. I mean, you can hear it just by opening and closing the door. Really substantial. Anyway, the seats and the rest of the interior is made out of the Alcantara, and it's such a nice material. It makes this car feel so cozy. With the sport package, you get these nice seats that have bolsters, but not so much. It's still, again, a mix of comfort and sportiness. But of course, they are electrically operated, and they have a lumbar support as well. So that's pretty nice. It has this nice Lexus emblem, and with the sport package, you get nice aluminum pedals. This is a bit of a first flaw with this car's dimensions. It's kind of like harder to get in because this car is very cozy inside. It's a bit cramped. So when I park next to a close car where I can only open the door like this, you'll see how tough it is. I have to put my hand here, and I have to it's a very acrobatic move to get out of the car. But once you sit in, you really feel comfortable and you feel like you're a part of the car. The steering wheel moves back and more up, so you don't find yourself stuck with your legs. As I'm gonna demonstrate to you, so when you start the car, so now it went down and more towards me. So yeah, I like that about it, that it has that feature of adjustable steering wheel. So with the steering wheel that's electrically adjusted and the seat, you can really find the perfect position. Next up, let's start a quick interior review. Now, this generation of IS250 started the production in 2005 up until 2013. I must admit that this part doesn't look so modern compared to its German competitors, but all the buttons, all the things you touch, you can see that this was a very expensive car, brand new. This material here, it's so nice. They used such a cozy and high quality materials. I really love to spend time in this car and to travel. And this car has so many features as standard. I'm just gonna say the most important ones: the cruise control, the keyless entry, the electrically adjusted seats and the steering wheel, the auto dimming for the rear view mirror, and also the side mirrors as well. Next up is the storage, and don't expect so many storage places, but honestly for this class the storage isn't bad. The glove box is pretty wide and deep. It's not bad at all. Coming to the central storage, again, it's pretty long and pretty deep. It has this little cup holder. There is a bit more storage here. I like also how this operates. You just slide how much you want, and to completely open you fold it up. You can also put a little bottle here, and I like how this opens for easy access. Really thoughtful. Now I have to show you, when I start the car, there's like a needle dance. Also, what I very appreciate is the aux jack. You can connect it to your phone and listen to your music with the best quality possible. But for people who still like to use the CDs, you can put 6 CDs in this radio, which is great. This car has standard speakers, but they sound amazing. There are 3 speakers on each door, and not only the front doors, also at the back doors as well. In total, it has 12 speakers, and the sound of this car and the bass, Lexus always paid a bit more attention to speakers than the rest. For people who like to listen to a lot of music during travel, these are very good speakers for that. And because this car is a V6, I'll show you how nice it actually sounds. The footwell has the LED lighting. There are LED lights here, and they are very directional, that when you turn them on, the light doesn't go to your eyes and it doesn't bother you. And the lights for the license plate is also LED. Now, one small flaw has to do with this button here. You only use this button for a trip computer to see the temperature, the average fuel consumption and everything, the gear position. So that is all nice, but I wish there were 2 buttons for forward and back, because, for example, if I want to see the temperature outside and I am in the range section, I have to keep pressing and go all around the menu in order to get to what you need, which can be annoying sometimes. Next up, how's the visibility looking out of the car? These windows are a bit thinner than normal, but the A-pillar is actually not that thick. It's pretty thin, and because of how the mirror is nicely coming out of the body, not the side, you have a nice view on both sides of the A-pillar. Now on the other side, it's not very good. I mean, this mirror really blocks a big chunk of your visibility. And at the back, this little window actually helps you a little bit, but the B-pillar is kind of thick. Looking at the rear now, this mirror is very wide, so you do have a pretty wide view at the back of the car. So overall, a mixed bag when it comes to visibility. I am 6 foot tall, and my hair is slightly touching the roof. Now about the legroom, I'm not touching the seat, but it's still kind of cramped my leg position. Now coming to the trunk, it is deep, but the overall space isn't as big, quite as big as its German competitors, and also the opening is a bit smaller. Alright, I've shown you the first impressions when you get in the car and the interior review, so let's hop in the car and go to the twisty roads to show you how it feels driving spiritedly. So yeah, let's go. Alright, we came to this amazing place with lots of twisty roads. So let's see how is the performance and how is the feel of this car driving spiritedly. And later on I'm gonna take it on a highway to tell you my thoughts on how comfortable it is during long travels. But first things first, the performance. Let's go. Alright. Let's start. So let's start with the driving position. I got the driving position nearly perfect. The only small flaw with the driving position is that I wished the seat was a bit lower. But if you are under 6 feet tall, I think you're gonna find a perfect position for you. So for the driving position, to me, it's near perfect. Now the next thing is the steering, and I'm going, as I said that, I'm going into this sharper turn. The steering, I am very impressed. It's a very quick ratio steering, and on a track day, that makes it so much easier to control your car in the corners. It still gives me plenty of information of what the car is doing, and the feel of the car in general, I really have the confidence in this car. As for the suspension, it's been set up the way I really want it to, because I mean, this is not trying to be some a track day car, but the suspension is perfectly tight enough to have fun, and on a track day to not lean so much. But it still has that a bit of softness to it, that it doesn't hurt your spine over bumps. So anyway, I mean, look at this scenery. Like, this scenery is amazing. I'm gonna push it a little bit. Okay, this is a tighter turn, and I mean, it's like on rails. This okay, that's one thing that I have to point out. One bit of warning is that the rear of the car is quite lighter than the front. It's not like 50-50 distribution like in BMWs. So even with these good and wide tires, the car can slide if you're being naughty to the gas pedal. So you gotta be careful, and I like that about it. It's more, there's more drama to it. It's not like with front wheel drive. And when you get the slide right, it really rewards you as a driver. So I like that. Anyway, onto the power. It's a V6, 2.5 liter V6. It produces 208 horsepower. Unless you drive some cars over 300 horsepower, then of course this is gonna be slow to you. But this power to me is perfectly enough. Okay, let's go. I love the sound of this engine. It's a naturally aspirated. The throttle response is amazing. Of course, as with any naturally aspirated cars. It has such a nice growl, and also the cool transmission sound, because the transmission is right beside me, let's say. It's paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. The biggest flaw with the performance of this car and the driver involvement, the downshifts are quick. I'm not complaining about the downshifts, but the upshifts, I mean, sometimes it takes 2 seconds to upshift. I love these pedal shifters. They are made out of aluminium, and I love to change gears via the pedals. It's just the upshift. I know the transmission is able to upshift as quick as the downshift. I just hope there is somebody that can program the ECU of the transmission to upshift quicker. If that is possible to do, then I have zero big complaints about the driver involvement. But for a Lexus, I am so impressed. They've done an almost perfect job. One thing that Lexus did it right are the seats. I mean, the seats, they don't have such a big bolsters and everything, but because they are out of Alcantara, they hold you in place very well. I mean, I've tested it on the racetrack, and I was held into my seat with zero movement. I forgot to tell you, this car has a sport mode for the transmission. Basically what it does is when you let go of the gas, it doesn't go to a higher gear for more economy. It's doing the more of a engine braking. With this kind of car, the weight is also an issue. It's 1,600 kilograms. So, but honestly, with this tight suspension and this 255s at the rear, for its weight, it really grips and grips. I mean, I have no complaints when it comes to cornering still. Now onto the brakes. The brakes, I'm not amazed by them, and I'm not disappointed. But because of the weight of the car, on track days, you will lose a lot of brakes after a track day. On highways, even at higher speeds, the car is very quiet. And having a quiet ride, I can enjoy listening to these great speakers a lot more. Last year I had 2 10-hour travels, and in both occasions I didn't feel so tired to take long breaks. Driving normally, the transmission in automatic mode is doing an excellent job. I even barely noticed the gear changes. About the fuel consumption, I was always getting around 36 mpg at 80 miles per hour on a highway, which is impressive. At night, the xenon headlights are very strong and they are adaptive as well. Cruise control is easy to understand and use. With keyless entry and not needing to put the key in some slot just to start the car, it's also very convenient. Like all Lexuses, it's a safe car to be in, with plenty of airbags, even including ones for your knees. Honestly, I have zero complaints during long travels, except wanting a bit more storage space. Otherwise, it's a comfortable, quiet, and smooth ride, packed with plenty useful features. To put it simply, this car is made for travel. And yeah, that's the whole review of the Lexus IS250. So, the real question is this a perfect blend of sportiness and comfort? In short, as a conclusion, I'll say it's almost perfect. It's almost the perfect blend. But you have to remember, this is a very reliable car. On a racetrack, I didn't have any problems. I went to Greece for like 12 hours non-stop driving on a highway, no problems. But small flaws like the transmission and not being so quick, it doesn't bother me so much because most of the time you're gonna drive this car on the road. It's a perfect, stylish, reliable, and comfortable Grand Tourer. So on that note, I'm gonna keep driving this road until I run out of fuel. Bye and thanks for watching.